Hello everybody, I'm L.A. Little, and this is a little short video to show you the power of the tools with respect to watch list and in particular not just the tools themselves, which were fairly unique and very useful, but the fact that I put effort into these for you members so that you can benefit greatly from it. And so let me quickly just kind of, I come to the home page, I'm logged in as myself. When I do that, I'm able to come into tools, go to watch list, and when I'm in the watch list, of course, I have the ability to look at various watch lists that are my own, that I've created, and those that have been shared by other members. Now, I share with members certain watch lists. In particular, I share actually most of mine, but I share these watch lists called earnings. And what these are post-earnings trades. So in other words, every time a company reports earnings, the day that it reports, I wait until the very next day and then I review what that company did. So if they reported in the morning, I'll see both the morning and the afternoon's earnings. If they reported in the afternoon, then I'll see the one day, the next day's earnings, how they're reacted to. Why do I do that? Well, the theory is that companies that report and the market rewards them, they typically will be rewarded for the next 3 months until earnings come up again, or about another month and a half, 2 months. Same thing on those that are, not rewarded, those that are punished. They'll probably be punished for another couple months. So if you look at these, you can do that and you can say, okay, what is being reacted to positively and therefore I may want to buy, and what's being reacted to negatively, I don't want to buy those or I want to short those. And so the tools, of course, make it very easy to do this. So, for example, if I pop here and click on this, I'll get the chart on all time frames for that particular stock. And so in this particular case, I was looking at, what is this, ADS, and it was bullish. It's in business services. It reported on the 16th. So this one just got pushed into the charts on Friday. It has a nice bullish spike here. I'm looking at it from the daily, the weekly, and all of these charts get popped up for you, of course. And I'm able to see it on all those time frames, how it acted, how it behaved, did it get rewarded or not, so forth, right? And so, from that perspective, redraw this so you can see it all. From that perspective, I'm looking at this saying, okay, this chart probably is going to be bullish, or at least reasonably bullish, for the next 2 to 3 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks, at least a month. And from that perspective, I'm willing to say, okay, I believe this one actually will trade higher versus lower. Given that, I put it on the watch list. I stick it in here and I share it with all you members. That gives you the ability to see what I think is the strongest and the weakest. Now, the cool thing about this is you can just download this data. You can come in here, you can click on download, and it will download the data for you. And you can look at that data and bring it in, right, and do whatever you want to with it. Now, I actually have that data already downloaded, and if you download it in a different way, in other words, if you come into your spreadsheet and you do an import, it's semicolon separated, so you can separate it by semicolons. What I have, another thing I do with this, and you can do this yourself, is you can group it. In this case, you can sort on the industry group, because all these, there's about 8 different categories. As a matter of fact, you can find what those categories are just by clicking on help. It will give them all to you. But it has a bunch of different categories. You can sort and filter on those, whatever you want to do. One of the other things I like to do is look and see early in the season what's being rewarded as a group and what's being punished. And right now, banks are being punished, chemicals are being punished, and not too much grouping on the upside yet. So there's not enough data in this current quarter. What I really want to show you, though, is not so much the current quarter, is I want to go back and show you the previous quarter. So for example, July, August, and September. What happened in the earnings season that started back then? What did it look like? And I happen to have that all grouped and available for you. And this is the summary. So if I look at those stocks that I highlighted as bullish, and I say, okay, it reported, the day it reported, of course, I wait another day, and then I say what it is. So 2 days later would be the earliest you could get in it. So when I say 2 days, that's actually 4 days, right? 4 trading days later. So 2 days after it gets on the list. How much did it go up or down? In other words, let's put actual numbers. Let's say they reported on July 10th. And on July 10th, I said, oh, so this stock looks good. On July 10th, well, let's pick the 9th because that would give us 2 days into the 11th. So that's a Wednesday on July 9th. So 10th, I review it and put it on the watch list. You can buy it on the 11th. 2 days later, trading days would have been the 15th. That's what this number is. The 1 week after that, of course, is a week later, 4 weeks later. You can see what the numbers look like. And of course, this is correlated with the strong market. So the market was strong, they did well. But look at the bearish ones. Even though the market was strong, the bearish ones did well as well. If you add them all up, that's the kind of returns that could have been returned to you if you'd have bought every one of them and shorted every one of them that were on the list. Now, that wouldn't have been feasible because there's too many. Here's the 2-day statistics. Look at how many actually showed up as bullish, how many showed up as bearish in July. And of course, that's when the meat of the earnings are. So some 5,000 companies reported here, and some 200 or so were reported, that we thought were bearish or bullish. So you can see actually there was quite a few bearish in July, August, and then September. And so here's the details, and that's true of, the 2-day, the 4-day, and the 4-week. I mean, the 5-day and the 4-week. If you go over back to the summary and scroll across, you can see what this data looked like, not only for July, but for August, and let me tighten this in so you can see it all, also for September. And again, the returns are fantastic all the way across. That's the sort of returns that are available if you were buy everything. Now, you can't buy everything, so what you're going to want to do is look at what I'm saying is the best, and then pick some of those that you also agree. And more than likely, because the majority are going to return, if you pick a few of them, you're probably going to make money. And if you pick a few of the shorts, you're probably going to make money. And overall, you're going to make money on any of those time frames, 2, 1 week, 4 weeks. The only place it was tight was right here. This was September. September kind of got tough at the end. There wasn't a lot of stocks in September. They didn't do as well. Bearish ones did well, bullish didn't. Overall, of course, if you were doing both sets, you would have done well as a result. So that's one of the powerful tools that's available to you. Here's October. I'm already starting to put October in, so you want to look at those. And, it's a powerful thing. The watch list itself is powerful. The fact that I create these post-earnings watch lists for you just augments the tool set, gives you my knowledge for, a very reasonable price when you consider what you're getting. Not only that, you got trading signals, which is a whole different tool. There's video on that, and then, of course, all my shared lists that I have here. I actually keep notes on everything, so every week I put notes together. You can drag this bar, pull it down, you can see the notes. These are notes that I do every day actually. So just a lot of information here available to you. You can get inside my head in a very cheap fashion. All right, that's the post-earnings trade shared watch list, the tools, the integration of the tools, the ability for you to download the data, sort it, do whatever you want. You can put your own watch list together, of course, a lot of good stuff out here at TA Today. So, hopefully you've taken full advantage of this, and if you're not a member, you want to be a member and maybe take advantage of it yourself. Thanks for listening.